So basically, what the plan is? Yeah, we have two dungeons: the Rookery and the Brewery, or no, Meedery, I think it's called, or whatever. I will just go over the dungeons, explain a little bit what's going on, how it's looking, and whatnot, and just give my general cook on these dungeons. Okay, that's basically it. So yeah, the first dungeon that we queue in is Rookery. This is the dungeon in the first zone, right at the beginning. You could just leg it there if you want, I think. And there's like a starter dungeon with 3 bosses. Kind of chill, actually, to be honest. I can't use any abilities. Yeah, this was a little bit shambles, okay, guys? We tried to use an add-on, didn't work, yeah. But yeah, basically how the dungeon starts off, yeah, add-ons on I just wanted to zoom out. That's why I installed an add-on, basically. But how the dungeon starts out is that you have, here, now I fixed the nameplates. How the dungeon starts out is that you have the beginning here, where you have basically this pack with this dragon, and then these guys here, where you have a 3-pack here, a 3-pack here, and a quartermaster. I am also with him. He has a little bit more HP than these other guys. Basically, these you need to kill all of these mobs so you can activate the RP to start these dragons here getting released, basically. Yeah, that's about it. Basically, what these mobs do is, you can see here, they do lightning bolts that you can kick, and this guy here is casting Bounding Void. That's a legendary ability, by the way, in case you didn't see it here. Boom, it's on Roger. And then you see a Void Hammer fly out and come back in. Boom. And then he casts Shield on himself as well. Yeah, that's all the mob does, to be honest. And of course, guys, the dungeon vigors are already in the works for the next expansion, yeah. I already did them on alpha. They will be released for beta, of course. But yeah, then basically here, this is the first boss area, actually, where you have basically all the same mobs. You have this dragon here, the Storm Rook, and some Rook Guard, another caster. These Storm Rooks, you can see here, they do like this Thunder Strike, where they just go out, or this barraged, how's it called? Like this charge, where they just charge. I mean, these are pretty chill. Is that VLC media play? Yes. Very, very lit for video recording. I mean, basically these mobs, they just have frontals or baiting abilities. I think in both dungeons, it was kind of a trend that there's abilities where mobs charge on anyone in the group and leave like something behind or charge in the direction of someone in the group. There's the same in this dungeon, same in the other dungeon. It's a little bit weird, let's say. But you can see they do like this Thunder Strike, then they do like an Energized Barrage, where it's just a frontal cast here on me. Very long cast, so pretty vape, to be honest. And then they have this charge as well that they did earlier, but these guys didn't cast it for some reason. I think it was booked. Yeah. And then you have the first boss, a Birdo. Kyrios. This guy, already, quick spoiler, bad melee boss. He charges out on someone. He does a chain lightning on someone you can't kick. He's a burb, yeah, a big bird. You can see here he's charging on someone, and then he's putting a debuff on one player. This one here. This debuff does damage to everyone in line of sight. So what is the normal thing to do when you have a debuff that does damage to everyone in line of sight? It says even down here, jump into the hole with the debuff. You see here, boom. Talus jumps in, you see a mouse of the debuff, inflicts damage. Upon removal, inflicts damage to all targets in line of sight. So you jump into the hole, you explode, you come back out. Boom. Crazy. And then, in intermission, this boss does something super amazing for every melee player, okay? There is Lightning Torrent. And you just vape it out in... And he's not coming back for a long time, guys. Now he's back. Now he can melee hit again. There you can like go grab a water, go toilet, like whatever you want. Yeah, only range players can hit the boss. This boss hates me. Yeah, look, he's already again in intermission. He does it quite often. Let's put it like that. This is not the best. Yeah. Yeah. So we killed the boss. Melee friendly fight. You can see here, Dorky was. Wait, no, was it Roger? Yeah, Roger was absolutely happy about this. So yeah, and then basically, then you jump down here into the hole, and you pick up a feather. You can see here, you get a feather, a lightning charge. With this feather, you have like movement speed decrease for 5 minutes. And you have an extra action button that I sadly did not have bound, so I couldn't use it properly. And with that, you can go down here, and you can basically free these dragons, these rooks here on the side. I don't actually know what it does. I only know you can free them. And you can like slowly make your way down to the bottom of this area. Not bound, actually. Yeah, and then you see everyone come down here. And then you're basically in the next area of the dungeon. You have some people to help you here. And in this area, it will continue with the beautiful mobs that do things, let's say, right? You have some casters here that are just chilling, doing some tank slams. Then this guy is casting a void ability. And the other guy is casting this one here that is called Attracting Shadows. That drags everyone in the group in and does raid damage. Yeah, not the hottest ability, but yeah, it exists. And they also put some curses on people. Like you can see here, Roger's a curse to dispel. Yeah. And then they also do this one here, like these Baroque guards. They do like a tank ability that you can see here, where they have like implosion on me, where they just put a zone on the ground that does damage when you stand in it, but it didn't properly work. So I'm not 100% sure how it would work, but that's what it did here. How long did you get to play? It was like 3 days, I think. Like we had access for 3 days. And then here again, you have like some caster mobs, some melee mobs, and then you have this thunder guy who does like an arcing void, what is like a void line, and then he does this attracting shadow, and now you can see everyone is taking damage and is getting sucked in, basically. So these mobs kind of annoying, not gonna lie, but what can you do? Not the best. Yeah, we're freeing some dwarves here on the run. And this just basically continues for a little while. I don't know if we ever let this arcing void go through, actually. Not sure. But generally, I mean, these mobs here, whatever, they were not too bad, actually. I don't, of course, know what the M0 like abilities are, if they have any. But yeah, not the worst. And the corridors here were also, I mean, they're going to be annoying with affixes, I assume, but that's about it. But yeah, basically these mobs didn't really do too much because also this one ability didn't really work. But yeah, it was pretty relaxing, this part of the dungeon. And then you basically come to a bigger room where I'm not exactly sure what the purpose is here. There's like a pack here and 2 guys here. And you don't need to kill this pack here to open the door to the next boss. You only need to kill these 3 guys here to open the door to the next boss. Like there's a door down there. So maybe they will make it that you need to clear this whole room. I'm not sure. But generally, it's just you need to kill these 3 guys and then you go to the next boss already. Yeah, these guys, they cast like a shield on themselves that does damage to everyone around, but we did a little bit too much damage here. Okay, now we get to the next boss. This one, actually cool boss. You will see here, there's like some civilians that start proccing when you enter the room. They all don't really do anything though. So we just decided to pull the boss here. So we pulled this boss. He's called Stormguard Goren. Yeah, Stormguard Goren. And he has 4 different abilities. One of them is Crush Reality, where he leaps out, boom. And then he does like some Twilight Devastation lasers out, and he has a puddle on the ground that does shadow damage. And then he does a beautiful ability that we all know, Dark Gravity, a suck in that does damage to everyone, and then goes ba-boom ba-bam at the end of the cast and knockbacks you, as you can see here on Dorky. And then he does this again. And now I will find this again, 1 sec. Here. Because here we played the boss longer. And basically how this boss works is, he will have an ability that is maybe familiar to a lot of people. And that is the ability from the other side, from the lightning boss. You can see here, Chaotic Corruption, which gets applied to Tettles in this case. It has 4 stacks, inflicts damage every second for 5 seconds, and jumps to the nearest player on removal. Yeah. So you can see here, I'm just going close to him. Boom, it explodes, and I got this debuff. Yeah. And now I'm taking down, and I'm giving it to Growl. And now there's an overlap with Dark Gravity, where you're going to take Omega Dam from this debuff. And now I got it again, basically. Yeah, basically need to give it to the tank every time, yes. That's how it works. How does Bloody Cave feel? I mean, it was nice, but I can't say anything in big. I like the Sen, how's it called? The Sun Lane talent tree. That's what I was playing here as well. Okay, going back to the other recording. Like third boss fall, yeah, I guess. It's like Galacrons for the newer people, yes, exactly. Just that it runs out of stacks after 4 jumps, yeah. Did you have all hero talents? Yeah, we had all hero talents, yes. We had like a damage decrease buff, and we got all hero talents unlocked. So I was playing with the fully unlocked Sen Lane talent tree. Okay, then we have these mobs here, which unlocks an RP, so you need to play 3 mobs only, sadly, in this dungeon. And these are 2 Void Fragments and 1 Ascended guy. And these Void Fragments, they basically jump to players, and then they cast Crushing Darkness there, which is just an explosion, and then they cast Void Bolt again. So these, you just want to be close, so you can bait them, and they don't fly to China, basically. And then you again jump down here. And then you, actually already in the last part of the dungeon, this part was actually very interesting due to the fact that there's a guy helping you here. You will see soon. Like this was a bird flying around. And this bird is basically putting a, how's it called? He's putting a stun circle on the ground that is targeted at any friendly player from you in the group, basically. And this stun circle does damage to the enemies and stuns them for 5 seconds. So you will basically need to use this to stun the enemies and just make it, how's it called? You just need to play together as a team to stun everyone. So you can see here, Storm's Vengeance. I mean, okay, you can't see it as my camera. But you can see here that it's basically casting a big circle. And then when mobs are inside the circle, they get stunned. You can see here, they get stunned for 5 seconds and you just blast them. Echo already cooking, yeah. Are you happy with the Bloody K hero talents? I want the other one was weird. The Frost one, the Scythe one. I don't know. I think that was weird to play. But the Sen Lane was interesting. I didn't try Brewmaster now. And go back to the mobs, by the way, because I didn't explain these mobs. These are the big chunker mobs of the dungeon, basically. And they cast Embrace of the Void. And this one here, you can see damage increase. So the tank is getting slapped more, and everyone else as well. Because they also pulls 180k shadow damage to everyone. And they have a big absorb shield. So you either let this run out and you heal for 30 seconds to absorb, or you break the absorb, of course. It is not anything. It's not spell stable or anything. It didn't have any tag at this time. Maybe in the future. I'm not sure. For now, you just had to kill the kill these mobs. And here you can see the hammer, boom, is basically stunning them. And when you break the shield, you can see here, you will get a 40% damage taken increase. So you break the shield on these void stones, and then they take for 5 seconds, 40% more damage. That doesn't really make too much sense, to be honest, because that's not really offsetting the shield you break, I guess, but whatever. They just get a damage reduction when you break the shield. And then here, these groups are all just copies from the apart mobs, where you can see these are the like oracles, these are casters and ascendants and void fragments. These are just like a lot of caster mobs that are doing like putting curses on people basically, and are just doing void bolts that you want to kick. And then you have the big colossus with the shield. Yeah, this is alpha, yeah. So here, I mean, to be honest, we just did a big pull because, I don't know, it was free. I thought that the guy would come and help us soon, but he was very late. So we just did the pull without his stun, I guess. And now he just stunned this one mob alone. Yeah, and then you have the last part here that you need to kill. Like all of these 3 packs, you basically have to kill to activate this boss. This is like the last boss on the side here. Yeah, I'm also not exactly sure how everything will work, but this command void of this ascendant is basically making these void stones move, right? And I'm not sure if you can interrupt it or CC it. I don't think we tried it, so that's like the main issue. Yeah, I think the hero titles were interesting. Okay, and this is the last boss of this dungeon, guys. The Void Stone Monstrosity. It knockbacks you when it spawns, so maybe watch out. And then it has a beautiful tank ability. This one here, the Oblivion Wave. As you can see here, I'm gonna frontal the whole team. Perfect. This is what you should do as well if you do your first M0, okay? Frontal the whole team as tank. Yeah. And then it has Unleash Corruption. As it says here, you can see they just go out and they put the 2 circles on the ground here. They just explode after some time. You can see here. Like boom. And then they leave a puddle behind. So you don't want to place them like close to the boss basically. And after that happens, like or while that happens basically, the boss has a big absorb shield. As you can see here, he has an absorb shield. And whenever you break this absorb shield, you will see soon here. Like you will break this absorb shield, your friend who is with you all the time is going to the boss and he's casting Storm's Vengeance, which will do 20% boss damage. On this alpha version, it did a lot more, I think, than 20%. But it will basically stun the boss, do 20% of his boss HP, and spawn 3 void chunks that try to reshape, basically, into these big elementals from earlier that just pulls AoE damage. I will showcase that also soon. And then he goes back to casting the, how's it called? Casting his shield, casting a big knockback that does some damage and spawns a lot of partless basically. And then he does the tank frontal again. Of course, yeah, snipe again, half the team. Perfect. No, this was not M0, this was a normal or heroic, I think. Yeah, this was heroic difficulty. You can see here. And then here we broke the shield again. The boss gets stunned again. The void chunks are spawning again, and we need to kill the void chunks. So yeah, I tried to grip them. You can't grip or stun them. It's just a damage race to kill them, basically. Yeah, here again, frontal 2 people. Perfect, guys. Just keep it in mind. Then you almost fall off here from the knockback ability. Not ideal, guys, so watch out for that. And the stun is just a stun, no damage take increase. It's just stun. And that's it. And then you get fat loot, like you see here. I got trinket, weapon, rings, was crazy. Yeah, then you can devs advance it, but I didn't know about it at that time. And to explain the boss again, one sec. Is basically here to showcase when they transform these void shapes. You can see here. This was the second run we did. when they transform, they basically become these void awakened mobs here. And they start pulsing AoE on the whole group. And with every pulse, that here you can see here, pulses energy, inflicting 215k damage to all players every 3 seconds. And each time they do it, they increase their damage taken by damage done by 5%. But the good thing is as well that the dragon here, like the guy, is gonna help you and try to do damage to these guys basically. That's gonna scale well. Yeah, yeah. Might be very difficult. We will see. Yeah. Hard to say. Hard to say. But yeah, this was basically the Rookery dungeon. This is like one of the intro dungeons that you play. Or like this is like one of the first level up dungeons that you can play. I think it was really cool. It's very straightforward. I don't think there's too much to skip or anything, to be honest. Yeah, it's just you leg it in. It's kind of like a more Souls. We just run it down and you just pull everything in your way and that's it. The bosses, maybe a little bit of work, but it was also not M0, so maybe some mechanics were missing. You need to see.